It's Influence here, and I give Transformers Rise of the Beast 6.5 out of 10. Let you know why that is after the intro.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
Even though 6.5 might be a low score, I did enjoy it. Let me prerequisite this with the fact that I don't like the Bay movies except for the first one. The other ones I went to see. I watched all of them. At the time, I enjoyed it. Most of the time, I can enjoy a movie for what it is, except for Shazam 2. That's a different story. But most of the time, as long as it's somewhat cohesive, I can enjoy a film for what it is, and that's what I did here. And also, I can understand objectively, compare things to each other, to other things. So that's why I say out of all of the Transformers movies, this one was probably my favorite. The first one was probably my second favorite, then Bumblebee. So I think the first one wasn't the greatest movie. I still don't like any of the designs, but it was the first movie. It was the first live action Transformers movie. So it just holds a place in my heart for me because it was something I never thought I would see. That's why the first one's held at high regard. But this is probably better than the first one to me. However, there were some issues, and we'll go over those first. And you'll kind of get an understanding of why I gave it 6.5. If you saw the movie, I'm going to try to keep it spoiler-free as much as possible. But there are going to be some spoilers, so just letting you know now. If you're all right with little spoilers or big spoilers, I don't know what it'll be. But yeah, just know it may be some spoilers. It's not going to be total spoiler-free. I will keep it spoiler-free, though, now in the beginning. And my first issue I had with the film was it felt rushed. The story felt super rushed to me. It was a 2-hour movie, but it just felt rushed. Like everything was moving so fast. And not to say that I couldn't keep up with it. I understood the story perfectly, but it just like stuff was happening and oh, that's good. Come on, calling all the bots and stuff. You know, maybe the first 20 minutes was kind of slow because it wasn't nothing happening with the Transformers. And that comes to my second point. Too much focus on the humans still. That's always been my gripe. I understand why this is a mass produced movie. But I think by now it still would have been successful if it was just focused on the robots. I understand they're on Earth. It's going to be humans around. It's going to be things going on, but they just dive a little too far into their stories. Like, I don't care about them. I think they did well. Like, I think the actors did fine. They had some cheesy lines here and there, but that's a given and to be expected. Just the writing. The designs were better. I still don't like all of them, but I do like that the designs were better. The Maximals, they wasted, I feel. They didn't explain anything really. I mean, they explained a little bit in the beginning and where they came from and why, but just the changes from the show, and I'm not a big Beast Wars fan, but it still would have been a good idea to figure out why they stayed in beast form, because they didn't need to in this movie. You could transform whenever they wanted, but they mostly stayed in beast modes. Yeah, those characters were wasted. Air Razor never transformed. Cheetor, just like one scene, basically. I mean, it was a couple scenes, but it just seemed like a waste to me. It just seemed like they just put them in that movie just because. And I can say that the last 20 minutes was what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. The last 20 minutes was about, took me back to G1 days. I do like that, the fighting scenes and all that stuff and everything going on. We could have had more characters because the Terracons didn't even have, you know, it was like 3 Decepticons. You know, Decepticons, Terracons, whatever. But it was like 3, and that's it. There are a lot of positives. Like I said, the storyline, even though it felt rushed, it was more cohesive than, say, the other storylines. I don't like that they're still trying to not reboot it. It's still trying to be in the Bayverse. So it's, Bumblebee still don't have a voice. And this is, I guess, a prequel. It was 94, 95, 97. I don't know. I just go by the music. So it was the 90s, the 94 to 97. That's where a lot of that music is from. Soundtrack was great. Like, no complaints. I mean, 90s hip hop, what you don't like about that? Unless you don't like hip hop. Like, if you like hip hop, that's like golden age. So, give or take, arguably, it was a golden age of hip hop. So the soundtrack was banging. I love the soundtrack. Love the characters. Mirage was great. I was surprised. However, I really don't understand. I mean, I know why they changed it, and it does have a little Easter egg in there. He turns into, spoiler alert, for a brief second, he turns into what he is, like, in G1. Like I said, the story wasn't flushed out as much because the exosuit, like, people that know the Transformers know that that's the exosuit, but it was like part of his body, part of Mirage's body, and I'm starting to get into spoiler territory. But I warned you in the beginning anyway. So, yeah, like, the exosuit was part of Jazz's body, or Jazz's, see? It's part of Mirage's body, kind of. And I don't know if I like that, but, I mean, it did save him. Mirage got pretty jacked up. Spoiler alert, a couple folks died. And, I mean, that's what it was. A couple folks came back. But I kind of was hoping Unicron would transform. I don't know. I mean, that's not a big deal, but I was kind of hoping he would transform. That would have been crazy. My biggest complaint, like, I just don't think the story was really, really great. And that hurt the movie to me, which is why it's only a 6.5 and not, an 8, 9. I see some people rating it like a 9, 10. I don't know if that's fatigue or if that's just giddiness for seeing the Beast Wars. Like, that's Beast Wars people. And that's what I'm going to end it on, because it's not much else to talk about. I don't want to get into, like, the total movie, like the whole storyline. I will say one big spoiler at the end of this. So if you don't want to hear it, you can click off, even though I did some spoilers earlier. But as I was saying, like, people seem to forget that each section of Transformers, as much as you might not like it, somebody else, that's their G1. Somebody younger than you, somebody older than you, whatever the case may be, that's their G1. So I think people forget about that. That's not lost on me. So I totally understand people being hyped that were, like, straight Beast Wars fans. And I totally understand people being mad that were Beast Wars fans, because on the same token, you probably wanted more, because I wanted more, and I'm not even like a diehard Beast Wars fan. And then the end credit scene, which is weird. It was weird to me. I understand they've always been in the same universe somewhat. They've had some comics, I believe, but when he pulled out the card and it said G.I. Joe, I know that they're trying to plan a Hasbro universe, kind of like Marvel, but I think it's far. Like, I think they need to flesh out this story before they go trying to shove G.I. Joe into the Transformers. Now, I don't know any plans. I may be talking out my butt right now. They may have a big write-up about all their plans, and G.I. Joe ain't gonna come into the 4th movie or whatever the case is, or the 4th reboot, or the 4th new one. I don't know. I don't know how to classify them. I guess this is Transformers 6, really. So, however, yeah, the G.I. Joe thing, I'm not feeling that. I just think they need to concentrate and try to get one franchise right before they go stick them both in the same movie. Let me know in the comment section if you saw it, what you liked about it, or what you didn't like about it. All right. And like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie for what it was, and it's not like I thought it was bad. All right, so I'm out of here. Peace.
Life ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.